Play spot. It's the play spot. It's the play spot. Hi there, I'm Kamurai. Welcome to the play spot here on Gaming Division. Let's talk about some games and stuff that I've been playing and doing and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, we're still progressing with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I bought from my neighbor buddy person. So we're going to be selling them through Gamesville, most likely through the eBay store. But it's a lot. Like, if I haven't shown this on camera yet, I don't think I have. I showed a friend of mine last night. This is a 4-row box full of that. There's a whole binder's worth still at the store of the high price cards. And there are a couple like $10, $20 cards in there. So, with any luck, I'll be able to make my money back. Just need to make sure that I'm on top of things, and so that we can get at the pricing and whatnot. And hopefully I'm doing the pricing right, because Yu-Gi-Oh is awfully strange. They have on their cards, let's just show this real quick. Right there is a serial number, and then over here is the print limit. Blank means it's unlimited. For whatever reason, that's what they do. But if they have a serial number on there, they shouldn't need any other specific rarities or whatever. And the fact that they reprint things is kind of strange. But so based on whether the words are shiny, the art is shiny, the background shiny, all of it's shiny, or the art is like hollow foil, all changes its rarity. So like, I may be undervaluing some of the cards, but honestly, they're worth 0 to me. So if I can get 10 cents per card, just that right there, that'll make my money back. And that's going to be average, because some of these cards are damaged so badly, I'm going to have to toss them. Or sell them at a nickel. A penny box. I will totally do that too. I will make a penny box and sell them like dime at a time. So it's a card for a penny, but you buy like a booster for like a dime, and then you get like 100 cards at a time for $1 or something. Maybe not that extreme right away, but I think that's what will happen with that. And all the really shitty cards, that'll be what happens if we don't just toss them. Because I don't know why, like, people don't take care of their cards, and they sleeve them, and they think that's all they got to do, and it doesn't matter what they look like as long as they're in a sleeve. But for people who are good at it and cheat, you can feel the cards and which cards are coming up, and there's a lot of funny things. If you've ever studied anything about Vegas and how casinos rig things and carnivals rig things, there are several small things you can do to a deck to mark cards and everything. It's particularly why casinos will throw away their decks all the time and use new ones. It's not just to guarantee that the cards are clean and unmarked. It's because they don't want to get the marks confused, because every deck is different. You can't mark everything the same exactly. And even if you did, then the customers start picking up on it and they start using it against the house. So there are several things in play. But let's get back to games I've actually been playing. Okay, one more quick reprieve. Sacred Offering. It's a game concept I've been working on. I think we're finally to a point where I need to get the other maps out, like the 3-4 player maps, and get a larger game going. We've figured out that it needs point values on the pieces, because the whole object of it, if you haven't heard about this before, is that you are moving the people. It's not your pieces, my pieces. It's all the pieces. But every turn you got to move somebody towards your altar, towards an altar. And so as long as they move from a higher number distance away to a lower number distance away, that is it. And the whole thing is that you get negative points, because yes, you need to feed on souls, but you lose favor with the people. So you get negative points for every person that gets sacrificed in your name or whatever. But it turns out to be kind of a fun game, and if you have point values on the individual pieces, it takes some of the mechanical stuff out of it. It adds some strategy. We figured you have to have the compulsive moves. If they make it to the one ring, then they have to be taken, because that adds some strategy in there. It's like, I can feed you pieces to feed me, or I can move, yeah, I can move some pieces into the 2 rank because you're probably going to move those into the 1 rank so that I have to take them. And you have the option of doing that, or potentially feeding or setting up another piece to feed for me to feed you, or even hopping into a 1 rank. So it adds some strategy with it tighter, or with it wider, because if you take away the compulsion, it's the 1 ring is where everything piles up, and it's smaller, so you actually have less options, and it turns into a pre-setup game and a final execution game where the first setup is like what order all the pieces end up near the hole. Whereas if you have the compulsion, you can force things early. Like if you can bump twice on the 2-player board and force somebody to sacrifice, I think, or force someone to move it to a 1, so you have to sacrifice it. I mean, it can happen fairly early that way. The other way, it delays it a lot. And the last thing you want to do when you're designing a game is to do things that cause delays, because it just causes the game to last longer. It doesn't add any real fun or experience to the game. And hopefully you can't hear that. But it's just what it is. So there's that. Spellcaster, I've mentioned this game before. We played this on Friday and Sunday. It's turning into a fan favorite. Oh, we forgot to play Evil Baby Orphanage today. Callie, apologies, she wanted to play it. So I'll have to make sure that we play it on Friday, or I come in during the week and we play. But Spellcaster's turning into our, to my, at least, quick, fast, let's play. And it's not small enough to fit on the side of my bag because it has the big blocks for the color pads. And essentially what you do is you have the 4 color pads, and you can play cards to those color pads, and as long as they're facing you, you control them, and you get 2 actions. And you can either play a card, you can activate a card that's already in play, or you can draw a card. And there are a couple cards that activate for free at the beginning of your turn. But you're constantly changing what's out there to activate, so you've got to act quickly. Sometimes playing cards to just stop them from having cards is fine, but it's a stall tactic, and it'll bite you in the butt eventually. It's really funny. But it's turning into the great game, and what the reason it is because they have the option for 2-on-2. So if we want a super fast 4-player game, we can duel 2-2, and it really is coming out on top. I think it's fun. It's first to 15 points or to 0 life, and it's really been an interesting experience. I'm hoping to find more games like that, because it used to be that we'd play like 6 games in 6 hours, and now it feels like we're playing like 2 to 4 games in 6 hours. And I like epic level games, but they're not necessarily games that I feel like should be doing that. And I don't know if just people are slow or what, but we'll circle back to that concept there. I played a newer game, for me at least. I thought I'd played this before the whole time Brandon was talking to me about this, but Level 7 is a sci-fi dungeon crawler. That's the best way I can think of it. Based on the mission, you set up the dungeon. The bad guy, overlord or whatever, sets up traps and surprises behind the doors. And so like when you go and you unlock doors, aliens pop out, and then aliens start crawling through vents, and the whole time you're trying to kill aliens while you try to complete this mission. And we had to go recover data from a computer, which caused a lot of confusion because I missed the mission brief. So I thought we had to go pick up a laptop and then get it back, but it turned out that we just had to get to the data and then back it up to our group hard drive or whatever. So you only need 2 people to finish the mission. So they left me and the other guy behind, and the ladies took off, which is kind of funny. But I think if I ever play it again, I think I'm going to insist on the hard rules where it's everybody or nobody, or everybody who's alive at least has to make it out, and 2 people have to be alive. Yeah, that makes more sense. And that mission, honestly, even though it's an easy mission, should be you have to get the laptop or the briefcase with the laptop in it and carry it out, and not just send it via iPhone to each other. And Kenley popped out. We didn't play test this at all, which is a party game. There are a couple games that I didn't play, but I want to talk about real quick. So it looks a lot like Cards Against Humanity. It's very minimalistic, and it's just a deck of like 30 cards, but they have things on there like a you card. It's like nobody can say you're, yours, or you are. Like you can't have any contraction of you said, or that person loses. There's a card that makes you say, "Oh, zombies" at the beginning of everything. There's like something like arrow. It's like if this is still here at the end of turn, you lose. Things like that. It's a party game. It's very simple. It's very fast paced. Multiple people can play it. It makes what it makes me want to do is play Totally Insane card game. The Totally Insane card game. I don't know. I didn't really get into it for whatever reason. Cards Against Humanity and we didn't play the test at all. And Super Fight don't appeal to me because they feel more like party games and not board games, which typically involve more strategy, which is I'd say is the key difference. Super Fight I didn't play, but they were playing it right next to us, so we had to listen to all these crazy, insane arguments about why Batman with a lower fish half is better than a Jedi with a top fish half, or whatever. There's so many things. It's if you've ever seen Big Bang, it's a card version of them doing the thing where they're in the restaurant and they've got ketchup bottles and salt and pepper shakers, and they're playing the thing where like Hulk and an orc army and Superman and whatever, and it's like, no, but Superman's vulnerable to magic and orcs are magic. It's really that. So the whole game is not the cards you play, it's arguing the logic with the other person so that they can see that you win. Which doesn't sound like fun to me, but a lot of people enjoy it, and it's insanely popular. As soon as people figure out that it's in that store, she won't be able to hang on to it. It's really how it's going to be. And so she was super excited to play it, or Callie, the store owner, was super excited to play it. So I really enjoyed that. Let's see. The only other thing I have on my list for Friday is Splendor. So super happy that we're getting some rotation in for this. I haven't got Alex to play it yet because he's going to learn it and demolish us all the time. Matt wasn't as excited about it as I thought. And it makes me mad because now I want to play 5 Traps again. Oh, I played Dominion as well, so we'll talk about that too. So it makes me want to play 5 Tribes. I'm going to have to do that again soon because it's been a while, and I really like 5 Tribes. But it's an adventure, and it feels mentally exhausting because it takes a lot of forward thinking, and it's one of the reasons why I never, as much as I like chess, I never really got into chess, because I'm not good at forward thinking. I'm good at lateral thinking. Like, I can see a bunch of options, but I can't follow all the pathways because my brain says, oh, well, we're going to follow each pathway and look. And by the time I get to the third one, I forget the first one. So I can't tell which option's actually better most of the time. And people who memorize things and lists of options, they go, oh, well, this is always better, so you always do this. And they play chess very mechanically, and they win a lot that way because chess can do that. Because given permutations, there are academic reasons why you should do X, Y, and Z. So chess is a great game. We did pop out Dominion because we thought that was a quicker game. So was it 3 of us? No, it's 2 of us. It just took a really long time. That's what it was. I don't know what was up with me, but like, given the cards that were available, like I ended up jumping on top of Junk Dealers. What was it? Not the Island, but the Great Hall, which is 1 card and it's a victory point. 1 card, 1 action, victory point. Junk Dealers, 1 card, 1 action, 1 money, and you have to trash a card. And ill-gotten gains. And I forgot that when you play with only 2 people, you don't have all the curses. You only have like 10. So they're not as effective. And then the ill-gotten gains actually helped me out a lot So I'm kind of glad I did it, because every time I'd play some ill-gotten gains, it would essentially at least double the money for the ill-gotten gains I had. And then I had the junk dealers going through scrapping copper left and right, and I had enough golds, fortunately, floating around. But I just wasted a lot of time on like caravans and great hauls, and like I think I could have done better. And Matt beat me mostly because he had taken Monument, because we ended up, I think, with even number of provinces, and I just couldn't get ahead to get that other province. But even if I had, he would have had enough victory points from the Monument to counteract me. So if someone goes Monument, I don't know what to do other than outstrip them, and I'm not good enough against the guys that play in this group to heavily outstrip somebody for provinces, unless I just go a quick money game, and there was barely one there. I'm not going to say there wasn't one, but there's barely one there. I went a long-ass way around to do it, because if I'd just not done caravans or ill-gotten gains and just done a strict money game, and then there were salvagers I could have used, or even the junk dealers, that would have worked too. I think I could have done it that way, and eventually junk dealer my junk dealers. Dominion's great. I love deck building games. I'll circle back to that as well. So we talked about Super Fight for a little bit. One of the games that they were playing on the side as well was Acquire, which is nominal because it's from like the 70s, 80s. And people still play it and still seem to like it. It's all about like a representation of the stock market on a board, which is fine because the board's just a visualization key. You still got to figure out how to merge and split and overtake and acquire other things properly so that the stocks you have change in value properly. And economic games like that not only are a good challenge, but they're a great thing to know about, because not only does it help your noggin, but there's actually some real-world application there. Now, granted, this is a simplified version, but you can definitely extrapolate it and use those skills. Let's see. XCOM, the board game. Here's what I'm going to say about that. I don't like it conceptually. I like XCOM, the video game. But taking all the things that XCOM does and taking away the computer, I don't like that idea at all. I think it's a lot of work that isn't necessary. If you're going to play XCOM, let's just play XCOM and come out with a mod or a version where you can play the campaign in multiplayer. That would be fantastic. That would be awesome. You know what? That would be fantastic. If you had a multiplayer version of XCOM where you're all different countries' XCOM teams, and then like there are not real world, but there are ticks. Like there's a calendar in game, and then you progress the calendar once everybody's ready. So anytime everyone's waiting, then they wait. But every time there's an event somebody has to handle, they handle it. And then that way you could actually end up with 2 fire teams on one mission. You could end up with being against each other because you're not actually on the same side. You're all fighting the aliens, but your country may need the profits from the thing more than they need the alliance with the other country. So that could be such an interesting mechanic. XCOM Global Alliance, Global Threat, something like that. That would be so fantastic. I would pay another $30 for that. And I don't need to be spending money on video games. Also, Dead of Winter. I don't know a lot about Dead of Winter. I only know that it's very hard to find because of a combination of it being a small company and trying to print it, and the larger superstores getting wind of that and then buying them out before the smaller stores can get it. So everyone going to the smaller stores where they normally buy their games can't find it, and then the bigger stores have it for whatever reason and are probably not selling it as much because the people who want it don't know that it's there, even though they're trying to grow their board game sections because they think it's a hot new trend, and it's just been a consistent trend that's coming to light, which is the thing. I apologize if you can hear that. I wish they would stop it. Because anyone who's going to buy board games from Target and stuff is probably going to just buy shit online. They don't care about Target. All I did really Saturday, I had a combination of lots of work and stuff and then being lazy. So I ended up stopping and playing FTL for a while, and I got the Type C Federation cruiser ship, which I was super happy to get. It actually has like a pirate logo on it, which was weird. But I did not manage to beat the boss. And I only play on easy, too, so you can make fun of me all you want for that. Please do that in the comments. That would be lovely, because I probably deserve it. Today we ended up playing more Star Realms. Dude, it was actually a real good guy, or a real friendly guy at least. He's a jailer. I've talked to him before because I spent some time as a correctional officer, so we have some things we can relate to. And he put up just waiting around on somebody else to show up while I was doing Yu-Gi-Oh stuff at the store. But we taught him how to play Star Realms. He jumped in on Risk Legacy with us, and then we ended up playing Spellcaster with him, and then he finished up with Star Realms again. Super fun. Deck builders are so much fun. More people should play them. If you play them correctly, they're pretty fast paced. And I think we got a little bit of that. Spellcaster ended up going that direction too, finally. Risk Legacy, not so much. Ken managed to whoop all our asses because no one picked on him enough. I'm just hoping that we can get these packs open. I think we're in game. Well, next game's game 9. I'm hoping to get the packs open by game 10, so we have like 5 solid games where the packs are open. Then I bullied them into Super Dungeon Explorer because if you play just 2 heroes, it's a super fast version. If you play super fast, because the problem was they just spent so much time contemplating and going over and trying to do the math, and the game's not that hard, but they managed to, for whatever reason, the way that they've taught themselves to do well with the game is to stall me, which is not really how you do it. But the first game, they just never got off the starting block, and I managed to kill them, but they just delayed me in doing it. The second game, they managed to kill the spawn point by the second round, which they should have killed in the first. And then they managed to work their way towards the second one, and I got fed up because I finally got my mini boss, and I teleported forward because I was using the Death Spectre. So I was super happy to actually use him because he's real interesting. I don't like him nearly as much as the Succubus, but he doesn't roll to damage. He just does wounds, and he heals wounds. So if he's got 2 wounds on him and you life sap twice, he's just going to heal back up, and it's fantastic. The Succubus does something similar, but she has to roll for hers, and she can do it twice because it's 2 actions and she has 4 actions. Whereas the Spectre can do it up to 3 times, but it takes 1 to teleport. So if you're teleporting the same turn, then you can only do it twice. You don't have to roll, which is amazing. The only thing I got left to talk about is Civilization, because we're playing that online right now, and I don't know. It's a good game. I don't like the map we're on because we're on east of the Mediterranean, so I got all this white shit in the way. I can't move like I want to. But I'm finally getting enough cities, so I'll be able to start trading and getting more money coming up soon, and hopefully that will get me cloth making and astronomy, and then I'll be able to just fly up and down the coast. It'll be so much better, and I have to kill Matt because Matt went straight down, parked in the middle, and now he's coming onto my territories. And he's got city spots left, so I don't know what he's complaining about. Fat jerk. But that's it. That's all I got to talk. I've got somebody bugging me, and I've got a cat on my lap, and hopefully maybe I can play some video games tonight because I'm making Steam friends. And Yeah, we were talking about Payday, I think, in particular, and maybe film stuff. But I'm Kamurai, and that's game over.